overthrow the Positatus Act and deploy the United States military to all 50 states in the United States of America, declaring nationwide martial law. Hi, I'm Chris Valenti. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. I'm your perfect and humble leader. Donald Trump, 3 minutes ago, just answered some questions in the Oval Office regarding whether or not he is going to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807 and allow the 700 Marines and, 4,000 National Guards that he has deployed in Los Angeles. If he does this, it will allow those men to start detaining and arresting people. As of right now, the 700 Marines and the 4,000 National Guard that he sent to Los Angeles, all they can do is shoot people with live rounds. They can kill people. And we're going to go over a lot of what this means, how this is legal, and how the United States is crumbling and democracy is dying under the whims of a fascist orange man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing and it helps me immensely. We are living through completely unprecedented times. Just so you understand, the last time that a United States president sent the National Guard to a state, or federalized the National Guard without the permission of a governor, was in 1965, when Lyndon B. Johnson sent in the United States Marines to combat the Alabama National Guard, who refused to protect the black people who were being attacked by the Ku Klux Klan in Selma. So you are living through completely unprecedented times. We're going to go through a little bit of this, and if you want to support me financially, you can become a member, you can become a patron, you could buy merch, or you could use the 40% off discount code on Vantage subscription for ground news. But I think that we should just dive into this. I'm going to turn off the chat for this because this is quite important, and I'm going to turn off the alert box. Okay. So, first thing you have to understand is what is the Positatus Act, okay? The Positatus Act is a United States federal law originally signed on June 18, 1878 by President Rutherford B. Hayes. Now, this act, it limits the powers of the federal government in the use of federal military personnel to enforce domestic policies within the United States. So what this means is that the federal military can be deployed by the President of the United States. However, they cannot enforce domestic policies. Now, the ways that you enforce domestic policies is through law enforcement. It's detaining people, it's arresting people, it's questioning people, it's throwing them in prison, right? All of that is the job of law enforcement, okay? And the reason why the Marines and the National Guard, the reason why martial law hasn't been deployed is because of the Positatus Act. You understand? Well, Donald Trump is considering deploying or invoking the Insurrection Act of 1807. Now, the Insurrection Act is a U.S. federal law that empowers the President of the United States to nationally deploy the U.S. military and to federalize the National Guard units of the individual states in specific circumstances, such as the suppression of civil disorder, of insurrection, and of armed rebellion against the federal government. Here's the juice. The Insurrection Act provides a statutory exemption to the Positatus Act that limits the president's deployment of the U.S. military to enforce either civil law or criminal law within the United States. Now, this is important because crossing the border illegally is not a crime. It's not a criminal matter. It is a civil matter, okay? So this means that the United States military can enforce civil law. This is a complete overpowering of the Positatus Act, okay? Now, we are going to listen to this from the horse's mouth. And when I say horse, yes, I mean Donald Trump. Here we go. Come on, go full screen already, you fucking piece of shit. Thank you.
Question.
Mr. President, will you invoke the Insurrection Act to deal with the situation in California?
If there's an insurrection, I would certainly invoke it.
If there's an insurrection, I would certainly invoke it. Now let's pull up Donald Trump truth. He says, if there's an insurrection, then I will certainly invoke it. Hi, Beans. He says, if there's an insurrection, I will certainly invoke it. Meanwhile, he already called it an insurrection. God, this motherfucker posts so much. He posts so much, and this is a president. Let's see. I know he did. Here, look, here they are. Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Bass should apologize to the people of Los Angeles for the absolutely horrible job that they have done. And this now includes the ongoing LA riots. These are not protesters. They are troublemakers and insurrectionists. Okay, so this means, by definition, that Donald Trump is going to invoke the Insurrection Act. So let's play again what he just said.
Insurrection Act to deal with the situation in California.
If there's an insurrection, I would certainly invoke it. We'll see, but I can tell you last night was terrible.
He said if there's an insurrection. Okay, well, you already called them insurrectionists, so that means you're going to invoke the Insurrection Act.
The night before that was terrible. We have, as you've seen, it was on most of your networks, people with big, heavy hammers pounding the concrete and pounding curbs, pounding it, breaking up all, and handing these big chunks of concrete to people. And they were taking that concrete, going up on bridges and dropping it into the roof of a car. They were throwing it at our police. They were throwing it at our soldiers that are there. And we got it stopped, and we have them in custody right now. Look, if we didn't get involved, right now, Los Angeles would be burning, just like it was burning a number of months ago with all the houses that were lost. Los Angeles right now would be on fire, and we have it in great shape. We're not playing around.
How will you determine whether or not there is an insurrection?
Well, you'll take a look at what's happening. I mean, I could tell you there were certain areas of Los Angeles that you could have called it an insurrection. It was terrible. But these are paid insurrectionists. These are paid troublemakers. They get money.
So he just said it again. These are insurrectionists. So he believes it's an insurrection. That's what he's saying.
And when you take a look at what they do, where they show up and everyone's saying, what's he doing? He's pounding the curbs. This one guy's pounding the curb, breaking the curb, and handing big pieces of granite. In some cases, it's granite and concrete to other people. And they're running out with it. And then we watch the other people, and they try and throw it into the face of the soldiers, throw it into the face of the police, and they hurt some people very badly. They go up on bridges, they drop it down on the cars as the cars are moving. They're not breaking the curb because they're doing a demolition service. They're breaking it to hand out to people as a weapon. It's bad stuff. I've never seen that before.
Mr. President, how soon do you want to see FEMA eliminated? And what's your message to the governors about?
So yeah, you just heard it from the horse's mouth. And then this next part here, they're asking him, when do you want to eliminate FEMA? So to all of you in like North Carolina who were affected by the hurricanes, to anybody living through tornadoes, Trump wants to abolish FEMA. You're fucked, and he doesn't give a shit if you die. Genuinely, he never has. And then also another breaking news, RFK Jr. has fired every single vaccine expert at the CDC. MAGA, you voted for this. MAGA, you did this to this nation. And then also another breaking news, Greta Thunberg and a whole bunch of other people on the Freedom Flotilla, the Madeleine that was going to that was going to Gaza to give food to the starving Palestinians. They have been intercepted by the IOF. They were kidnapped, sent back to Israel, and then deported. So no food going in for the Palestinian people. They're all going to starve. Listen, I wish I had something to soften the blow for you, but I don't. Your nation is crumbling before your very eyes, and the Republican Party is cheering for it. Welcome to reality. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That helps me a lot, and it costs you absolutely nothing. If you're here live, you stay. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, do me a favor and click that video right over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers.